Thank you very much. Mr Higgins now for 2 minutes.
Thank you, President. Let me first emphasise the utter hypocrisy of the right-wing groups in this Parliament who condemn the Venezuelan government for the temporary withdrawal of broadcasting facilities for Radio Caracas television and pretend to be champions of the freedom of the press. These are the same groups who stand for a system in Europe where the vast majority of the media is controlled by billionaires and major private corporations, who use this control on the one hand to reap massive profits for themselves and on the other hand to spew out pro-capitalist propaganda, pro-market and pro-neoliberal propaganda, and who in the context of the present economic crisis vilify and abuse, for example, public sector workers, relentlessly pushing an agenda that it is working class people who must pay for the crisis, and vilify without end those working class organisations who dare to disagree. Now, bringing the issue of the RCTV into the Human Rights Emergency Resolution today is a major abuse of that procedure. By the way, most of the media outlets in Venezuela are in private ownership, actually, including powerful media corporations who conspired to overthrow Hugo Chavez in 2002, who happens, by the way, to be elected and re-elected many times by the people of Venezuela. The reality is that the EPP in this Parliament have the same agenda as the coup conspirators. They want to overthrow Hugo Chavez's government because this government has not carried out the bald dictates of world capitalism, implementing privatisation and deregulation across the board. And they want no opposition to the neoliberal agenda, lest the working class in Latin America in general rise up in opposition. Now, I am not without some sharp criticisms of the Venezuelan government. Despite massive support from the majority of the Venezuelan people, Hugo Chavez, in fact, has not decisively broken with capitalism and led a movement to genuine democratic socialism. There is a trend towards bureaucratism in certain senses. And finally, co-thinkers of mine on the ground in the Socialismo Revolucionario group, for example, are fighting these trends and fighting for workers' rights and genuine socialism, which means, by the way, that the media would not be controlled either by capitalist interest or by bureaucratic interest, but open democratically to all sectors of society.